Around 1200 BC, the entire civilized world collapsed at once. Not one empire, all of them. Within a single generation, nearly every great city between Greece and Mesopotamia was burned, abandoned, or reduced to a village. Writing disappeared. Trade stopped. And 3,000 years later, historians still cannot fully explain what happened. This is the Bronze Age collapse. To understand what was lost, you need to see what existed. The Late Bronze Age was a globalized world. Egyptian pharaohs wrote letters to Hittite kings. Copper from Cyprus met tin from Afghanistan to make bronze. A single shipwreck from the era, found off Uluburun in Turkey, carried cargo from at least 7 different civilizations. These kingdoms depended on each other completely. Then, within a few decades, the lights went out everywhere. Hattusa, capital of the mighty Hittite Empire, was burned and never rebuilt. An empire that had rivaled Egypt simply ceased to exist. Ugarit, the wealthiest trading port on the Mediterranean coast, was destroyed so suddenly that unsent letters begging for military help were found still sitting in its ovens. In Greece, the palaces of Mykene, Pylos, and Tiryns went up in flames. And here is the detail that should stop you cold: the Greeks forgot how to write. Their script, Linear B, vanished with the palace scribes who used it. For the next 400 years, Greece produced not a single written word. Civilization did not just decline. It rebooted. Egyptian records blame mysterious invaders they called the Sea Peoples, a coalition of raiders who appeared from nowhere, destroyed everything in their path, and were finally stopped at the very edge of Egypt. Pharaoh Ramesses III carved the battle into his temple walls. But no one has ever conclusively identified who the Sea Peoples were, or where they came from. Modern science tells a more unsettling story. Climate data shows a massive, decades-long drought striking the region at exactly this time. Add earthquakes, famine, and disrupted trade, and you get what historians call a systems collapse. Each kingdom leaned on the others, so when one fell, the shock spread through the whole network. The Sea Peoples may not have caused the collapse. They may have been its refugees. What followed is called a Dark Age, and the name fits. Populations crashed. Skills vanished: monumental building, fine art, sea navigation, bureaucracy. In some regions, archaeologists find nothing for centuries but crude pottery and small farming villages sitting on the ruins of palaces their builders could no longer even imagine constructing. Yet out of that darkness came something extraordinary. The survivors told stories about the lost world, of great kings, bronze-clad heroes, and a war at Troy. Centuries later, those stories became Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, the foundation of Western literature. The Greeks even learned to write again, borrowing an alphabet from Phoenician traders. The seeds of the classical world were planted in the ashes of the old one. The civilization that eventually rose from that dark age gave us philosophy, democracy, and science. But the lesson of 1177 BC remains: the most advanced, most connected societies are also the most fragile, because everything depends on everything else. Sound familiar? If this story made you think, subscribe for more forgotten history, and tell me in the comments which collapse theory you find most convincing.